Welcome back to the garage. Welcome back to Second Shot Motorsports. We're back in the garage today, working on the race car. I'll give you an update on what we got done this week. I got some help in here today for a little while. Old buddy Danny's here. He's putting in a overflow spout now, so that we can. So if the car should overheat, we'll see. I'll see it popping up and blowing off, and so. Hopefully that hasn't. Hopefully that won't happen. However, we got it. So let me get the camera turned around. I'll show you what we got done this week, and then we'll get you caught up on what we got going on today. So, okay. So here's what we got done this week. Remember last video, we were doing the intrusion plates and the door bar for the body work. Well, we got that all done, cleaned up, painted. That turned out actually really good. All the way down, you got a reflection on the floor. It is what it is. So anyway, we got wiring cleaned up in here. This was an absolute mess. So we got that cleaned up. We did find a few things, little things, like if you notice the ignition box is moving right there. It needs some mounts, the rubber mounts put on it. Not a big deal. Reran the evacuation system hose, redid these. Those hoses were rotted, pretty bad shape. Got one put on the exhaust here. It goes up underneath. However, we found that when I set it up here, it hits the master cylinder, the clutch master. So that's not going to work. So I said, well, what we'll do then is we'll get a 45 ordered, and we'll put a 45 on it. We'll angle it down, and we're good with that. The other thing we did is, you remember that broken hose, this crap right here? Well, you know, that right there? Now, we got all that replaced this week from here. And by the way, this neck, the nipple that was in there was corroded, and when I pulled it out, it pulled the threads with it. So we had to run a pipe tap in there, get that cleaned up and redone. But we got new overflow hose run all the way back around, and that's what Danny's installing now. Back here, it runs up underneath here, turns and goes across. So we got that done. The only thing we have left here is the oil temperature sensor wiring, and I've got to put bungs in the oil pan for that. So we got all that done. We had a wiring issue here where a wire got nicked. It got all soldered and heat shrink and put back together. Everything's done up on the motor side, all run around. So that's all done. So we're getting closer. The carburetor's not on there fully. It's just on there for mock-up right now so that we can work with the body work and get it done. So today's project is going to be working the interior, working this section in here, making it safe so that my happy butt can get in and out. And I cut, if you noticed, remember last week, I cut down to here on the 10. I think we're going to cut down a little bit more because the brake bias handle is still really close right there. And by the time I overlap my 10, there's not going to be enough room and the handle's going to hit. So we're going to open this, cut this back a little bit more, and we're going to cut it back some more in here to make a little more room. And then we'll get some cardboard out. We'll make templates, and we'll fit everything around with cardboard templates. So anyway, that's where we stand for now. So let's get that cut out. I'm gonna set you guys up on time lapse. I figured that out last time, although I didn't do a good job marking it. You'll see it in the videos. If you hadn't already, it just goes from me talking to me doing something, and then time lapse, and boof, I'm running like a chicken with my head cut off. So anyway, I'm gonna set you up on time lapse here, and we'll get started on this, and I'll catch you back here in just a little bit. Okay, now that we got this all cleaned up along in here, I got a nice brake here with some duckbill pliers. We got the cut cleaned up so it's all nice and smooth all the way up here to the dash. So what we're going to do is we're going to use cardboard. I'm a big fan of cardboard templates. So we got some cardboard here. You can use construction paper, you can use heavyweight paper, really kind of up to you what you want to do. But this is what I've got, and it's free. I get it from work. It comes on our pallets. It doesn't get used. It gets thrown away. So we use for templates. So essentially, I think what we're going to do is we're going to put a hem on the bottom side here to overlap on the inside, and we'll rivet along here. We're going to put a break right along in here up to here. We'll overlap this bar, and where it breaks here, we're going to overlap it back here. And then we'll have to put a filler plate in here in the process. And then we'll do kind of the same thing here at the A-pillar support bar. Is we're going to, once we come up, we'll put a break in it here, down, and we'll fold it back over, and we'll put a hem on it on here, down in the bottom, put rivets in it, and then here we're going to take these two bolts loose and we're going to tuck it up in here so we get a nice clean edge in here. So let's do that. Let's get this cardboard cut out and template made. Okay, so while we were off camera, I got my template cut out. We're going to take that, we're going to stuff it down in here and see what we get. So let's put you on time lapse while we get it fitted. Okay, we're back. We've got our template cut out. We have all of our marks where we need to cut, we need to bend with the brake, how much we need to bend. Here's some more bends. Roll bar cut out right here. More bends. You see, in some of these we actually went ahead and bent the cardboard as well. Bent it back here as well. So we've got all of our bend lines laid on here, our overlaps, our hems. We've got a 1/2-inch hem going down here at the bottom. We got a 1/2-inch hem up front here, and then this side has got a 3/4 inch, just a straight bend. This is tucked in behind the seat, so I'm not really worried about any sharp edges like uniforms dragging across anything like that, because that's going to be kind of behind the seat and not really anywhere for anybody to get a hold of. Hello everybody. Well, kind of had a mess up, or I don't know what happened. We were working on the 10. I had you on time lapse, and somewhere along the line the camera got shut off. So I didn't get any video of this, but I'll show you what we come up with. I'm a whole lot happier with the way this turned out than what was there originally. You saw kind of what was there after parts have been taken apart. But anyway, let me get the camera turned around here and I'll show you what we got going on. Okay, so here's what we got. I got you turned around now. We used our cardboard template right down here. Here for working in here. And so we got it all cut out. Got it ended up with a real nice seam right here coming around. I've still got to peel the plastic, it's still showing the dirt. We got a real nice hem up here, no sharp edges. The same thing down here. That's a real nice hem down there. This part back here, I can't get a drill in because the seat, so it's either take the seat out or drill in from the outside in and then set my rivets. So that's probably what we're going to do here. I've still got Clecos sitting up here to hold it in until I put rivets in. But I wanted to kind of look at it and see what we got going on and make sure I'm happy with it before I go to the next step. But I am pretty pleased with the way that turned out. Like I said, it's got a real nice finish here. So I just need to do the tin over top of this and then going here forward. Now the doors, with them being the poly mold, they have a 2-inch lip on them. This sitting, that's 3/4 of an inch here, and that's about an inch and a 1/16 here, inch and an 1/8, inch and a 1/16 thereabouts. So what's going to end up having to happen is once I lay the door up here, so we get it flush, get it sitting where we wanted, I'm gonna have a lip on the inside of the door that I'm gonna have to cut out, just so I can maintain it as being big boy friendly. But again, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, because that's one of those things I think will be a lot of fun to do. Start hanging the body. That's probably coming a little sooner than later. But I wanted to show you the progress anyway of what we had going on. Okay, y'all, we're about done for the day. I'm going to come back and work on this tomorrow. I'm probably going to have to make a trip to the old Harbor Freight to get an angle drill, because I can't get in to put a rivet in beside the seat. Or if not, then we'll drill from the side out and put my rivets in that way. We'll see how that works out. But anyway, so tomorrow I'm probably going to work on the rest of this deck tin that I've got up here already, and work on the front of it from the front door bar area forward, and then a fill panel around that A-post support. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out today. I'm sorry the camera shut off. I don't know what happened. If I hit it, I bumped it, or it just went, ugh! You know how that goes. So anyway, y'all be good. Have a good evening. It's Beverage 30. Y'all have a great evening, and I'll hit you up tomorrow, and let's see what we get into then. Y'all take care. Hello, y'all. I'm back. Had to have a little beverage break, if you know what I mean. Dee ended up having to leave anyway, so we sat there and had a tall, cold, frosty beverage out of a can, if you know what I mean. So anyway, but I thanked him for coming and helping. He was a huge help today. You know, it's one of those things that you can do it on your own, but sometimes just a whole lot more fun, a whole lot easier if you have a little help. So he was here to help me out today, and I am truly, truly thankful for that. So anyway, now back to what we got going on here. I've kind of caught a second wind. Let me get you flipped around here. Okay, so this is the tin that came on the car when I got it. You see where it's the old versus the new versus the old. But anyway, we got this out here, and so what I'm going to do is where we built the new stuff underneath, we've got to go back and undercut all of this to fit. There's probably a 3-inch overhang on just about all of it. We got all of our Clecos out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a pen and I'm going to go through, I'm going to mark the underside of it all the way around and see where the inner tin is sitting, and we'll work it from there and decide how we're going to attack it so that this gets cut to match that, and where we've got to bend it and make sure that everything works the way it's supposed to. So let me set y'all down, get a pen, and figure out where and what we got going on here, and I'll hit you back here in just a minute. Hello, y'all. Welcome back to the garage. Well, it's, as you can see, it's already been a little bit of an eventful morning. Pat next door in her she shed craft room, we had to hang some, she asked me to hang some pegboard for her. She's kind of a long story of how she ended up with the she shed and I ended up with the garage. But anyway, long story short, and I'll take you next door so you can see. She may not like it, but nah, it's all part of it. Anyway, let's walk in here, see what she's got going on. Okay, anyway, here we are in the she shed. She's getting everything organized up now. We hung some pegboard over here this morning, hung some more pegboard up over here. She's putting her craft stuff up here. She's got all kinds of craft stuff, and she's got a vinyl cutter here for doing vinyl graphics, and she's got a stitching machine over here. It's a sewing machine, but it's got a stitching program so she can like stitch shirts and hats and...
It's called embroidery, my
excuse me. It's called embroidery. Anyway, so she's got this over here. So she's in the process of getting all this organized. I gave her this table out of the shop. It has a real nice smooth Luan surface rather than plywood. This way she can throw her fabrics and flowers and whatnot up here and not get snagged. But she's got shelving put up over here. Yeah, all down through here.
This is all stuff to make candles. And lotions and scents and my beads to make car brushes. And then miscellaneous stuff up here. This is all my painting and gluing, my woodworking stuff. I got to figure out where to put all the stuff to do resin. I want to start learning how to do that. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway.
Freaking kudzu bug.
Yeah, that's the bane of our existence over here, is kudzu bugs. But anyway, I just wanted to show you what we had going on in here. And like I say, this is her garage area per se. We call it the she shed. But this is all hers, and this is where she's going to be doing her craft. She'll be doing the vinyl graphics on the race car. At some point, we'll probably end up doing some hats and shirts and such like that for it. We've got some cabinets moved in here she's got to get organized. But anyway, this is her version of what I got. So, alright, let's go back to the garage. Okay, so we're back in the garage now. After yesterday's adventure, in all honesty, I really had every intention of getting the tin buttoned up yesterday. After Danny left, I said, well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. And I kind of got a second wind. We sat here and enjoyed a beverage together and talked about it and thought about it, bounced some more ideas around. And anyway, he had to leave. So I picked up the camera and I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and get a little more done. Then next thing I know, I'm getting a text. Hey, it's supper time. Then he texted me and said, hey, we're sitting out on the deck watching the race. Why don't y'all come on over? So we ended up going to spend the evening over there, and this didn't get done. So this is going to be part 2 of what we got going on today. So let me get you flipped back around here again and show you what we got going on. I kind of drew some of it out on the top deck here, but it doesn't line up real well. But anyway, let me show you. So sit tight. Okay, so here's the top decking that was on the car originally. This is an original piece from when I got it. This piece was added, however, obviously it's not cut out for big boy status. And the other thing is they had rolled this, they'd done this for a rolled body panel. Problem is the body panels we have are all 90-degree flange. So we've got to rework this to fit a 90-degree panel, which I don't think that's going to be a super big deal to do. But we've got to get this cut out like we did the interior tin. So what I did is I went through and I marked the underside of it all the way around of where we're going to cut, or where the flange is, where the edge is, and then we'll cut and we'll reflange everything around here and then up across here to tie everything in so it looks all nice and neat. So that's the plan for today, is we're going to get this done and see if we can get it buttoned up and possibly start getting ready to hang a body. That'll probably be the next, once we get this done, we get this buttoned up, we'll get it so that we can hang a body on it. I did crawl in and out of the car this morning, not on camera, and to make sure that it works the way I hoped it would, and it is a whole lot better than it was getting out. So getting in and out both. Like I said, this door window was not designed for big boys. So anyway, so let's get started with this and let's get this taken out. I've got it clecoed in up front here. So pull one cleco, kind of twist and turn. We can get this out. We'll figure out how to get it cut or get it marked anyway, and then we'll figure out where our cuts are going to be, where our bends are going to be, where we can put a hem in it to strengthen it up, and then we'll get it set back down. So y'all sit tight and we'll go time lapse. Alright, so here's the underside of the panel that we're going to use. You see the marks here. I've marked it a couple different times, but we're going to follow the green mark on it. Comes down, kind of kicks over. So this is where this inner panel now rides. So we got it all in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and cut all this. We're going to flange it, we're going to hem it, we'll flange it, and we'll run down through here and kind of kick around here and see what we come up with. But I think that's going to work real nice. Still gives us, still going to use this bead roll on the outside here and down, but that means we can get rid of a lot of this extra here and do the same kind of the same thing here. See, there's the bead. This is back here beside the seat. So we'll flange this down. We'll do the same thing here, get it cleaned up, make it all nice, and then we'll see if we can get this part mounted. So let's go back to cutting now and see what we come up with. Okay, so we got everything laid out underneath the tin work now. I hadn't done back here yet. Again, this is behind the seat. But here's the first line is our cut mark. The second line is our hem line. And then the third mark is our actual bend line. We have to notch this corner for straight bends. What we're going to end up doing up here at this seam is we'll end up taking some rivets out here and basically probably end up taking this whole piece out for now, saving it, and then putting it back in and reusing it for this seam out here, so we can keep everything lined up real nice and neat. And then we'll finish drawing these out, and the same thing here. So that's what we got going on. Let's go back to time lapse and get all this cut out and refit it. Before we start making bends and hems and whatnot, let's get it laid back out where it belongs, or get it refitted one more time, verify our marks, and then we'll let her go. Okay, so we got this all cut now. It's just a rough cut. It's not a finished cut. It's still got to be cleaned up and smoothed out and notched and whatnot. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to go back and we're going to trial fit this one more time, make sure we didn't miss any of our marks, make sure we don't have any issues, and if all's good, then we'll go ahead and we'll make our corner notches, do our hems and so on to get all this buttoned up. So let's go to time lapse and get you guys buttoned up again. Hey y'all. Okay. I don't know what happened. Looks like I always had to change. I know what happened. I don't know how much this is shown. I had to change the battery. The battery went dead while I was doing all of this over here. So I ran in the house. I got the other battery. I got it swapped out and put in. So y'all missed all the work that just went into this. I still got a little bit to do yet, and it's more or less finishing up stuff. But let me get to, I got some Cleco set. I got the upper 10 sitting where it belongs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the camera flipped around, show you, get you caught up to speed, get you caught up on what I've got done so far. Like I said, there's not just a couple of little things left. But anyway, let's show you what we got going on here. Okay, so anyway, here's what we got done. This tin is done. It's folded and hemmed on the bottom. I've got this one done. It's folded and hemmed. I got Cleco holding it in place. We got a nice hem run along here, so it's a nice smooth edge. Same thing up here, nice smooth edge. When we put this piece in, there was another piece here that was kind of mangled up. So, and didn't realize it at the time that we needed a little more. So once we did it, well, we found out we were short, so I just got a little piece put in there. I got it Clecoed in. Got Cleco sitting on here. It's Clecoed in place up front, so everything is sitting just where it's going to go. So pretty pleased with that. The only thing we have left to do is around this roll bar, I've got to put a cover plate on to cover that up, and then we've got to take care of this hem, this 90-degree hem we got out here. We got to take care of this and get it off. Our doors do not have this on here. Neither do our quarter panels on either side. They're both, they're all of them are 90-degree roll. So fortunately, I have all the old panels. So what I can do is I can lay a new panel on this one and get all my holes drilled where they belong, get them taken care of. This one is going to be a bit of a challenge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten this 90-degree edge out here. We'll probably end up just leaving this here, but we'll flatten all this out along here so that we can put that 90-degree panel on here, and it'll be good to go. So anyway, that's where we're at now. I'm going to see if, now I got a battery, see if we can get that battery to hold out for just a little bit so that we can get this done up here, and we can get this. And I think we're going to call it a night from there, because I've got some chicken wings in the freezer that I'm going to put on the smoker here in just a little bit for supper. And this old boy's starting to, been out here most of the day and hadn't stopped for lunch or anything, so we're starting to get a little hungry here. So anyway, we're going to get this buttoned up and we'll go on from there. Hello everybody. Well, you ever have one of those days where stuff just doesn't go right? Well, today was one of those days. Now the fab work, it went pretty well, all things considered. But the camera work, that's on me. I don't know how much got videoed today. It seemed like every time I turned around, the camera was off for one reason. I don't know why. I don't know if it was me. I don't know if the camera's having issues. I don't know if it's just timing out and I'm not paying attention to it. Excuse me. I don't know. But let me show you what we got done today. I'll get the camera flipped around here and just kind of give y'all an update. So y'all sit tight. Okay. So here's what we got done today. We finished fitting the interior tin all the way around. Never mind the plastic. We finished fitting it all the way around and got it buttoned up. We got our interior cover plate where we had to notch out for the A-pillar support. We got it buttoned up. We got our top 10 up here. Done, finished, buttoned up, cut, hemmed all the way around. Pretty nice fit. A couple places got a little rough. We'll find a decal or something, put it that. So then we come to the outside. And if you remember, they had a 45 up and then down. on it for a rolled top door. Well, I don't have rolled top doors. I have 90-degree flange doors. So what I did is I went back and just took the panels apart and basically rebent it to accept the 90-degree doors. This way it'll fit nice and flush, fit and sit the way it's supposed to. I have one of the driver's side original door standing up over there against the garbage can. I have the original quarter panels in the pile over there. I've got a poly panel. I have poly panels to go on both of these. This one's going to actually end up being a Dominator poly panel. It's just what I had. The previous owner bought stacked panels, but he didn't buy all the panels. He only bought a few. So we're going to use 2 stacked panels on that side because I've already got those cut and fitted. This side's going to be a stacked door with a Dominator rear quarter. So we'll get those cut and fitted, get all the holes drilled and mounting and whatnot. But this all turned out really well. I'm really pleased with the way it's sitting so far. I've got Clecos holding it in. Once I know that I don't have any other adjustments to make in this area, then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and set rivets. We'll finish that up and get that buttoned up, and that'll be done. But for the meanwhile, we got big boy access here. That's a good thing. I've got to finish buttoning up the gauge panel, get those Clecos, get those buttoned and set, and get those Clecos out, get these Clecos, get them pulled and buttoned up, get this all done across here. So that'll be the next go round, is to get this side, the body panels hung over here. I've got some new spring steel that came with the car, and we've got new braces that came with it. So we'll probably end up getting, it's actually, roll of spring steel is actually right here. So we'll get that out. I've been told, and what I have read is that you drill that with a carbide bit. You don't use a regular bit. You don't use any other bits. Use a carbide bit, and basically you're burning your way through the spring steel. It's either that or go buy a spring steel smasher or a punch smash punch. I don't feel like spending the money on that, and I've got some carbide bits, so I'm going to try that first. To get that, I'll get it cut to length, get it drilled. I've got sheeting, shrink wrap to go on them, so we'll get these done. Well, once we get the doors fitted, and I know that the length is right, we'll do that. I got new braces to go on it. We'll get those put on. We'll get this side of the body buttoned up. Then we'll go do the other side. So anyway, that's where we stand today. I'll go through and edit what I can. Like I said, I don't know what's been shown and what's not. It'll be kind of a surprise to me when we get to that point. But I'll get that done. We'll get this side buttoned up. And meanwhile, it is beverage 30. Let me get y'all turned around here. So anyway, we're going to wrap it up. Y'all have a great evening. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe on these videos. I hope you guys are enjoying seeing it. I'm learning as we go. I'm sure there's probably going to be somebody gets on here with comments about my tin work, about my sheet metal work. I don't have all the latest and greatest tools, so we're using hand tools and doing the best we can with what we got. But I'm pretty pleased with the way it has worked out so far. Anyway, y'all let me know. I am in the market for a good used, probably a 6-foot box pan brake, or at least a straight brake at a reasonable price. I've got a 4-foot Weaver straight brake, and it's just not nearly long enough for what I need. It does good for small straight pieces, but it does not do well on anything else. So But I'm looking for. I'm in the market. I'm looking. Let me. If anybody knows of anything, let me know. Hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, y'all have a great evening. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.